The gun is integral to the struggle. There's no contradiction between armed resistance and politics.
In El Nuseirat, near Gaza City, they celebrated with Pepsi Cola and wafer biscuits, sitting in the street, somewhat stunned by their victory. Hamas radio pumping out revolutionary music. Sweeping Gaza was expected. A landslide in the West Bank was not. Everyone said Hamas would do well, but no one thought they would win outright. Ismail Haniyeh is the most powerful Hamas figure in Gaza. This morning he held a chaotic press conference, reiterating what Hamas calls the right to resist Israeli occupation.
The gun is integral to the struggle. There's no contradiction between armed resistance and politics.
As he left, his car was mobbed by journalists and voters. Now Hamas has to turn popular slogans into government policies. On the streets of Gaza, Hamas supporters were everywhere. Fatah stalwarts stayed at home. Their leaders seemed stunned.
It's a punishment from our people. Our people maybe think a change is good for them. Let us try.
Because of corruption?
Part of the problem is corruption. Part of the problem.
They won because of the failures of the Palestinian Authority and because of this illusionment with peace. And they also won because they championed the resistance against the occupation.
As the day wore on, more and more happy Hamas supporters came out onto the streets of Gaza. The people expect a lot. Better living conditions, an end to corruption, change. That's going to be hard without international support. I told one Hamas leader that Jack Straw had called on them to renounce terrorism.
What is the international definition of terrorism? What is committed by Britain and America in Iraq and Afghanistan except terrorism? And what is the difference between liberating movement and terrorism? So we are not accepting preconditioned relationship. They have to respect the will of the Palestinian people who voted for Hamas, for the agenda of Hamas, for the style of Hamas.
Very, very difficult questions facing Hamas leaders.
Meaning?
What to do with Israel? To recognize, to negotiate, to coordinate. It's a lot of things, not just to sit in the government and to take responsibility. It's a lot of things. In daily basic things, everything is connected with Israel, or our life connected with Israel. So who's going to coordinate?
At the moment, Israel simply refuses to deal with Hamas. For the next 2 days, there'll be celebrations, but also serious negotiations. Hamas leaders have no experience of government. They may need Fatah to help them. And they'll also need to prove to their supporters that change will be for the good.